Hello, beautiful people. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. They say that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Sometimes it is true, sometimes it isn't. But with all the divorce talk going on, I wanted to give you my take on this because was it ever a love story or was it a transactional one? Or was it a transaction for one party and was it a love story for another party? Do any of these two individuals, Harry and Meghan, know what love is? For real, just like Prince Charles said, whatever love means. Because in my opinion, it wasn't. But let's look into this because it's incredible how the narrative has changed from this couple who married for love, the only a couple apparently on earth who has married for love, to the new narrative. Please, let's dig into this and you let me know in your comments what you think. How can we all forget what Harry said on Netflix? Prince Harry says men in royal family choose wives who fit the mold, not who they love. In Netflix Harry and Meghan docuseries, that's what he said. Prince Harry says his and Meghan Markle's relationship was different from many in the monarchy because they chose love over anything else. Yes, that's basically implying that they're the only couple who has ever married for love in the royal family. I mean, that's a horrible thing to say. Let's keep in mind that the Queen Mother married King George because she loved him. Nobody was forcing her, and he was deeply in love with her. The Queen was deeply in love with Prince Philip, and he was in love with her. They were both in love with each other. Princess Diana was in love with Charles. It wasn't reciprocated, but she was in love. And then we have, I wonder, and I started thinking, Princess Diana, Charles and Diana's marriage is just like Harry and Meghan Markle's. It was not suited from the beginning, because one was in love and the other just wanted to take advantage. Which one is which? You tell me. But and then we have Charles and Camilla, who apparently married for love. And then we have Eugenie, Princess Eugenie. We have Duke of York, who was clearly in love with Fergie. We have Beatrice, who was in love with her husband, Sarah Tyndall. And Catherine and William, of course. And according to Harry, only Harry and Meghan Markle are the ones who truly married for love. That's how the story begins, with these headlines. I mean, you couldn't open a newspaper without, for some reason, William and Catherine's wedding being taken a dig, being taken a swipe. How Harry and Meghan were truly marrying for love, unlike why William and Kate are a fairy tale, but they portrayed it in a very negative way. But Harry and Meghan are a couple goals. I have never heard of that shit in my life, but hey. What if, instead of sweeping a young woman up into the glamour and luxury of life as a royal, the handsome prince instead prioritized what she wanted? Remember how Meghan called that 32 million pound spectacle? In spite of the fact that that's what she wanted. And she criticized Catherine for having that kind of wedding, that she wanted to be a she or Shira or something like that. I don't even know, because that woman is insane. But yeah, so that's how the story is unfolding back then. I mean, their love was so strong and pure that even the Queen worried Prince Harry was a little over in love with Meghan, the book claims. Remember that, guys? This is in November 28, 2022. Oh, what a skank. I can't believe she was that close to the Queen. The Queen wanted to do everything she could to welcome Meghan when she joined the royal family in 2018. The Queen was reportedly worried that Prince Harry was too in love with Meghan Markle when they married. A new book has claimed, yes. Why was the Queen worried? Because the Queen knew that Meghan Markle was not. She recognized it. And she knew that. She knew that Meghan Markle was in it for the money, the status, and whatever she thought she could get her hands on. But let's not get our hands. Let's be kind for a while. Okay? So Meghan Markle, here, these are the lovely headlines we have, how much in love they are, how they are different from other royal couples. I mean, there were stories after stories written in the newspapers. What we love about Prince Harry and Meghan's love story that knows no bounds. Remember that, guys? This is also December 20th, 2022. This is not 3-4 years ago. This is how much in love they are. This is Meghan's whole face. You know, this is how they are different than everybody because their love is so strong and pure, and their fight for the love. They left how Harry chose love, how he chose Meghan, and left everything behind for her because she couldn't take it anymore. She couldn't take the 1 million pound, clothing allowance. She couldn't take all those bodyguards living in the castles, flying all over the world, with bodyguards, getting all these things, all those freebies. No, she couldn't get that. I guess, she kind of missed her D-lisdom life. She likes the gutter. I guess she missed it. What do you guys think? So how do we go from all those headlines in December 2022 and prior to that to the Telegraph writing this kind of articles? I am not sure whether they're taking the piss out of them or what, but this is the Telegraph. Harry and Meghan love the Telegraph, and it's their go-to newspapers. The Sussexes will not divorce. Their marriage is their power. Expedience. Listen to the word expedience has held more relationships together than that crazy thing called love. So it's not love that got them together? The Sussexes' marriage is expedient, and expedience has held more relationships together than that crazy thing called love, which, as Thomas Hardy, a man who did understand women, once wrote, is as evanescent as steam. So it's gone from the love story of the century, the love story that no other royal couple has ever had, to a marriage, to an expedient marriage, which is exactly what Harry accused all the other royals of doing. They go on to say the Sussexes' marriage has become the subject of a Commentariat sweepstake. Over the weekend, Princess Diana's former butler, Paul Beryl, was the latest to wager that the couple are heading for their personal Götterdammerung, I don't know what that is, and that Harry will return. It's inevitable as the asp at Cleopatra's breast to the shores of his motherland. Let's keep in mind that Harry has trashed that motherland more than a piñata. It is increasingly prevalent view, but one I hold no truck with. Harry and Meghan may be one-trick ponies, but I doubt they will ever consciously uncouple. What the hell is that? They're one-trick ponies? That's very derogatory. I think they're taking the piss out of them, but at the same time, trying not to be too obvious about it. But yeah, they're one-trick ponies because they're liars. They lie their way through everything they do. But I doubt they will ever consciously uncouple. What does that mean? Unconsciously uncouple? I mean, divorce? Consider the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. That's a bad parody, by the way, a comparison. Whose own marriage was not expected to last. Whenever they were apart, people who met them noticed that this apartness diminished rather than enhanced them. They did not stand up singly as they did as a couple. According to friends of mine in LA who know Harry and Meghan socially, their dependence on each other is similar and due seemingly to some inner lack in themselves. That is actually pretty awful. that means that they're both unremarkable human beings on their own. It's pretty terrible if your marriage is compared to the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, which was, they were pariahs worldwide. They were grifters. The difference is that the Duke and Duchess of Windsor didn't have to suffer through internet, because now there's internet. So it was harder to track them down. It was harder for them, for the news to spread. Nowadays, everything spreads really quickly. So Harry and Meghan don't have the luxury of internet not existing. So if you're comparing these two guys, those two marriages, and saying that they're similar because they both have this unhealthy dependence on each other, because one without the other are crap, I call it BS. Because Harry on his own, he was actually quite a popular royal whenever he showed up on engagements. He actually got more press. He was one of the most popular royals. He was very favorite, and everybody liked him because he was so vivacious and had personality, whatever that may be, whether he was a wanker later on. But he was a favorite royal. He was once one of the most popular ones. So this thing that they're saying that Harry without Meghan is nobody, I wonder if Meghan is the one who wrote this article, because just wait until the next one. With all his princely social perfection, there is a boring blandness of personality about Harry that makes him less interesting alone than as a partner to the streetwise firebrand he has married. When Meghan goes her own way, she can be jarring, she can be stupid, she can be abusive, she can be a bully. As was once said of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, he gives her class and she gives him sex appeal. I really do believe that Meghan wrote this thing, because this is so contrived. I don't think any respectable newspaper reporter would write this, because this is basically sending a message to the world that Harry's boring and nobody likes him without Meghan, because Meghan is what makes him interesting. Harry had a few headlines of his own without Meghan before he met her. As I said, he was very, very popular, and he always got in trouble. He was always the cheeky prince. He was always doing stuff. The press followed him everywhere he went. He was always front news, So, in my opinion, what do you guys think? This is either a very good friend of Meghan's or written by Meghan, because it's just the language is so contrived. Together, the Sussexes are a phenomenon, inescapably visible. Yes, because in spite of the fact that Megxit happened, because they wanted privacy, they just, they can't stop calling the paps, but now they're in trouble with Bagrid. It's increasingly hard to explain. No, it's not hard to explain. They're calling the paps all the time, and they do stupid things to put themselves in the news, and for the wrong reasons. What forces combined to produce them in the first place, and how have they managed to hold out so long against the blasts of disheartening misunderstanding and misinterpretation? Yeah, you wrote this, Meghan, or at least you told this reporter to do that. What forces combined to produce them? Very easy. Meghan was a 36-year-old D-lister from the gutter with no job, desperately to land a man. And Harry was I think, 33-year-old prince who was envious of his brother and thought that by marrying Meghan, a biracial woman, he would one-up his brother and be more popular forever than he was. So yes, there is something almost heroic in the way they have held their perilous ground, disdaining all compromise, unmoved by their vociferous critics. They have faced every conceivable form of attack that rational people are capable of mounting, and yet they have scarcely budged an inch. This is a way of saying, we don't care what you say, we don't care how much we lie, we're going to keep it up. I really do believe that Meghan wrote this, or had the reporter write it. What do you guys think? Ay, God, Dios mío. Even when their nearly catastrophic 2-hour car chase was shown to be as questionable as a 30-pound note, it failed to move them. They still plod along in the cheerless and laborious way they first marked out for themselves. and are as undaunted by legal rulings as they are by abuse. Who, if anything, they are more unyielding than ever, and their fearless standard bearer, Omid Scobie, has earned a reluctant and resigned sort of testimony, though I am concerned that the evolution of his eyebrows is beginning to mirror that of John Crawford's. You know, I don't know. What do you guys think? I really do believe that they're taking the piss, but at the same time, they're writing quite many truthful things. No one quite believes in other people's marriages. There is always a flavor of doubt, a feeling half instinctive and half logical that one party is taking the other for a ride. We know, who do you think is taking whom for a ride here? And therefore must have something nefarious up their sleeve. Male commentators tend to take this view more than women. They fail to understand that members of my sex enter into marriages of any relationship expecting very little in the way of fairy tales. And to most women, marriage is a daily transaction. I am really torn. I really do believe that this was written by Meghan Markle, or the reporter got something from Meghan Markle there. Because now we've gone from being completely in love, how they were breaking molds, how they were the only royal couple who married for love, to it's a daily transaction for women. I don't know who this woman is. I can tell you that when I got married, I was in love. And I think that most women, when we marry, or most people of goodwill, of, decent people, when we marry, we want the marriage to last, and we marry because we're in love. Well, how about you? So this is the state of Harry and Meghan's affair. Do you think that they will last the distance, or the marriage? At least they will choose not to consciously uncouple? Do you think they will stay together because without each other they're nobodies? This is the part that leads me to think it's Meghan Markle doing it, because this is a message saying Harry without Meghan Markle is a nobody. And I disagree. In this part, no matter what Harry does, he used to get a lot of headlines. He used to be one of the most popular royals below the Queen, even more popular than William and Catherine. Everywhere he went, he got headlines. Remember Vegas? Everywhere he went, he always got headlines. And he was very much loved. And in my very humble opinion, if he does divorce Meghan, if they choose to consciously uncouple, I think he will get better press than Meghan Markle. What do you guys think? Thanks again for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, beautiful people.